Welcome back. It's one of the hardest things for parents of teenagers. Your kid gets a license to drive. Now it's time for them to set out alone. Here with a coach playbook for parents is Ann Scallon. She is the publisher and editor of Before the Wheel. Hey, Ann.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's great to see you.
It's wonderful to see you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, because I have another driver now with a license hitting the road. So I think everybody wants to know, what do I need to do to teach my teen to not only be safe, which I think is foremost, but to also be experienced, to be a proficient driver?
Sure. So, a great starting point is really to start having some mutually respectful conversations about the driving experience. And I always say to do that in a light way, go out for coffee or a pizza or relax out on the patio and just talk about some different situations and how they're feeling about the driving experience, because sometimes they're feeling very uncomfortable and looking for advice.
I think that first year really is the toughest, and maybe even for them too, because all of a sudden now they've always had someone in the car with them and they're alone. So how do you set up that first year in particular?
Well, a good start is to remind them that, this is a great part of their life, that it's going to be, a lot of new experiences, but you want to talk about the safety. So, fortunately, there's some state rules. They cannot have more than one unrelated passenger for the first 9 months. So that's definitely something 100% to stick to, because more passengers are more distractions. And then get them used to the idea of, get in the car, take a deep breath, reset your mirrors, um, put your seatbelt on, and just, when people, you see it on the movies, they run in the car, they just start pulling out of the driveway, they hit somebody or something. I think when you take that deep breath, it really helps them to realize that this is an important thing they're doing driving, and they need to be focused on that.
What about the critical thinking part of it? Because I think that's maybe one of the trickiest things to try to teach somebody else, is those decision-making skills as it relates to driving.
So a lot of parents are afraid, and they don't want their teen to drive that often. You want to do the opposite. If your teen's learning basketball or soccer or whatever, you're going to say practice, practice, practice. It's the same thing with driving. Even though you as a parent are uncomfortable, they need a lot of practice. They should start on roads close to them, roads they've taken before with their parents, with carpools to school, to friends' homes, to movie theaters, to restaurants, coffee shops, and then just start get used to the whole experience where they have to stop, they have to look around, they have to just get used to the different experiences of driving, and then they're going to start to build those critical thinking skills as they are now the decision maker in those situations.
How do you suggest the parents get the trust of their teenager as it relates to driving and having these conversations?
So yeah, you don't want to start any conversation with the word don't, because that they're just going to shut down. They know that they have the ability to drive now. They've been authorized by the state. And you want to start the conversation with, how can I help you? Or have you, they love blaming adults on their mistakes. So you could start a conversation with, have you ever been in a carpool or in a car with an adult who was doing some behaviors you were uncomfortable with? And you're going to be surprised how they open up about that. Somebody drinking coffee, or just not distracted or whatever.
What if a teenager brings up something that you do, or your spouse perhaps, or an older sibling, that something that's unsafe or something that's not positive in terms of driving? Do you say, thank you for bringing that to my attention, I'm going to work really hard to change it? I mean, how do you handle that?
I would say that exact thing. And if your teen is correct, I would make immediate changes. So I talk to a lot of people who think they can text and drive and do all these different things and then tell their teen something else. and you are really putting yourself, your teen, and everyone else at a risk. So everyone wants to be a hero and do the right thing when it comes to driving and stay focused.
Ran out of time, Ann, but real quick, one tip to help give kids the mettle to stand up to other kids who are maybe doing things that, like distracted driving, for example, that aren't safe.
The best thing to do is that they can get that car to stop. So tell the driver, they need to pull over, they need to stop in the local, McDonald's or something, so that the action stops, because the action is a momentum that the teens get rolling, and you need to put it to a stop and have a conversation with that other teen.
It's a great tip, Ann. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Ann. And here's the website for more information, a wonderful resource to help parents raise safe drivers, beforethewheel.com.